Hey everybody, here is the Brickslopes aftermath, or we could call it the haul. So I registered as a VIB, a very important builder. I entered my buildings, as you saw. They did not win, but they did get, I don't know if we'd call it honorable mention this year. In fact, I'm trying to think. Oh, here we go. Forgot my little... There's my miniature trophy. So after the judges went around and did their thing, the organizers gave everybody, not everybody, but a few other builds, some of those recognitions. And then you got to randomly come up and pick some stuff. Some of the stuff you got, you could either get a set, you could get 2 bags. They were even throwing these out at the beginning. Then they had another random selection of everybody there where you got to come up and either get a set, a small set like this. Actually, they had some pretty big sets at the end. They even had the Blacksmith shop, which I'll digress a little bit. They had games where you could play. They had a blind build, a team speed build, which is what this is from. We got to build the Blacksmith shop and then separate that between the team, and then the team that won got extra prizes. They had a regular speed build where you got to keep what you wanted. The Brickmasters that were there, they made cards for those, and I believe Boone, if I can, there's Mark's and Boone's, theirs are signed. I can't remember. Yep, Susan's is signed and Jen's is signed. So those were pretty cool. And then you even got a swag bag at the beginning. You could get one with a t-shirt, which was a few dollars more. But you got a 16 by 16 plate and some single rounds. You got a Reese's. You got the Avengers little superhero. I'm trying to think. It looks like a miniature Quinjet. This was awesome. This is like a pirate's dream. You got cannons, swords. And then you got those golden candlesticks. I mean, those are totally awesome. Then you got your name badge, and then you have your Brickslopes minifig. One thing I wanted to show you is I did fix my set down there. I don't know how well you can see it right now. This window was out of alignment, so I pushed that into alignment, got it up. Now when I moved it over, this was in the back of my truck, as you can see. I couldn't get these into the back of my SUV. It's a smaller SUV, so I had to put them in my truck, and they barely fit. I was barely able to get the doors shut. Taking them out, ripped some of the roof pieces off. Actually lost this one, had to come home and find another one, and then my daughter found it in the garage. On the way home, I broke this off. I had to make a new one because I have no idea where it went. So I did lose some pieces taking it over. I damaged the dumpsters, but those were easy enough to put back together. Overall, I thought these guys did a great job with Brickslopes. One thing I will point out, or one thing that I think happened with my builds, is mine are replicas, but I don't think many people actually knew they were true replicas. And then when you looked at Susan's builds, she had about 5 buildings that were very colorful, and when you mix up your colors, the details pop. So on mine, where you've got these columns that are inset, unless you look at it really close, you might miss it. But if those were in a different color, like the roof here, they pop. And since she had 5 buildings like that, and she did have more buildings and then trees and stuff like that, she won the overall best city. And it's really hard when you have a monochromatic build to have those things stand out. So bigger is not always better, although hers were about the same scale as mine, maybe a tiny bit shorter, but overall the same scale, and they were pretty cool buildings. The other problem with my buildings is when you look at them from this view, you miss one important piece, and that's the columns down there. And they were set back far enough that I don't know how many people with the trains and then the space in between really noticed the columns. But anyways, I'm still super proud of my builds. And the one thing I will note is they did have, they drew out some random prizes. So although I didn't win anything for these, I lucked out and I got the random big prize of the Disney castle. So that made the whole thing worth it, just getting that set. I mean, that set's got so many cool pieces in it that just for parts it'll be totally awesome. But you know, this was a great experience. I don't know if I'll be able to get anything built for next year. Technically, since these didn't win an official prize, I could enter them again. I could possibly put in that building on the side and then this building on the side to make, you know, give more buildings and show more variety. I could even enter those by themselves, but I don't know if I would do that. Or I may just try something completely different. But, you know, I got to get a picture with all of the Brickmasters, or not the Brickmasters, the Lego Masters contestants, except for Boone, because he was doing his video with Beyond the Brick, and so I couldn't get him in there. I did get a picture of him later. The one cool set that I wanted to mention is, and Beyond the Brick did a video of this too. It is a Dungeons and Dragons kind of live action or Lego action game, and so it can be completely rearranged. And if Beyond the Brick comes out with that video, I'm definitely going to watch it. I have no idea when they'll finish making their cuts. And I'm just looking at my buildings, noticing my roof is off right there. Anyways, there might be more damage than I realized. But that set, that D&D set, they used at least 5 of the Blacksmith shop, which I definitely have to get. That is a super cool build, and they put them together in different orders. That didn't win any prizes because I don't think people really realized what it was. As a display, it still looks good, but as a game, I thought it was just ingenious. So kudos to that builder. Anyways, I hope you found this useful. I just wanted to show you kind of what you can get if you are a VIB. Again, this cost about $115 to register, but with the t-shirt, just with all of these bricks, and this, I figured that almost paid for itself, and then clearly that more than paid for my entry fee. So there was nothing to lose, and you know, hopefully everybody enjoyed seeing this, and I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you next time.